Now let's take a look at some of your art materials. It's a common misconception that you need a lot of expensive materials to start out with. You can actually start with any journal that you find in your stationery aisle of your supermarket, and even some stationery that you find there, and still get good results. But if you want to work with paints, I would suggest that you invest in a watercolor pad or a mixed media pad, because these hold paints very well. So for me, my most essentials are a travel set that I have. This is a 12 color pan set, and I take this with me everywhere because it's so small and usable, and I actually prefer working with those colors as well. And then with that little watercolor pan set, I have a water brush, and this just holds the water inside the body, so it actually makes it a lot easier to work with, and I don't need to carry a water bottle with me. So that's very convenient. So as far as paints go, I'll suggest if you want to start with a small watercolor set, even if it's those that you would buy for your kids for school. Then in terms of paper, I have a few watercolor pads here. This one is a 300 gram, and it is very heavy, so it means that I can actually put lots of water on it. I can collage, I can paste stuff, and it is quite a heavy paper that I use. This one is 180 gram, so you'll see that I still use it for the same purposes, but it's a slightly lighter paper, bends easier. And I would suggest this if you want to make like patterns so that you can reuse them for collages and just some test pages, maybe not your full journal pages. These are just a few experiments that I've been working on. I also really like the spiral bound books that you get, and these are actually great to start a themed journal in. So once you've sort of developed some areas in your other notebooks, you can then create a themed book where you can start working in, and you can use collage and coloring, painting, different types of media. And this one I think was 190 grams, so it's not as heavy as I thought it would be, but it has got, I've added some gesso to some of the pages, and it holds quite nicely for collages and watercolors as well. I also use quite a lot of watercolor pencils. You see I've got my set unpacked here, so that to me is sort of my essentials. And then I also have my black pens that I really like working with. These are uni pens, and they come in different sizes. I have a 0.05, which is a really thin line, and a 0.2 here, which gives me a nice drawing line. And then I also work with a white pen and some other materials. But I would say for your basic starter kit, what you can do is get yourself a small set of watercolors. It can be a pan set or it could be tubes, a water brush, 1 or 2 black waterproof markers because you're going to write over your drawings, and then a watercolor pad so that you can use that to experiment on and also to keep it as a journal.